Hello lovelies, how are you all doing today? I hope you're all well. I've got a slightly busy day on today, so it's definitely a clipboard day. Oh gosh, so yeah, recently I've been doing jobs. Some of them have been like one big job takes up the whole day, that sort of thing, or even a couple of days, like when I was doing the books. So I've got a list here today. It's lots of sort of little itty bitty jobs, hence the need for the clipboard, because I've got them all written down. And I sort of slightly working it out last night in terms of order to do things, make sure I don't miss little bits and bobs. Some of it is about the flat and, progressing the flat, getting nearer and nearer to the point for staging, at least for estate agents to come in and give me a quote, because I want to stage it for the estate agents as well. I want them to see the flat at its best to hopefully give me the best possible price. Anyway, so some of it's that, some of it's just my own normal bits and pieces that some of them get a bit neglected because of other jobs going on. So yeah, itty bitty day. And I've actually, clear my mind. Last evening, I sat down to sort of order all this, had all sorts of scraps of paper on where I'd made a little note, oh, don't forget to do such and such on the pinboard. Took everything down, right, let's see what I can do in a day. And in fact, I think there's about 2 or 3 days worth of jobs, but that's fine. That's what I'll be getting on with this week. Clarity, moving forward, great. What else has been going? Oh, so one thing that is a tick, it's now done, is I've had my old electricity meter swapped, my old analogue meter swapped for a smart meter. I didn't really want to have it done. I'm perfectly capable of reading 5 digits and making a note of them and sending them on my computer to my my power company, but they've been nagging me for months and months and months, saying your meter is at the end of its life. Please call this number and arrange to have a new meter fitted. I'm not really into tech anyway, and the reason I'm holding my hands up, honesty here, I've been really reluctant to do it is because I have read and heard horror stories about smart meters going a bit haywire and giving crazy readings. For instance, and I watched a documentary on this about 6 months or so ago, Grayson Perry, the artist, I'm sure many of you are familiar with his work, ceramicist, apart from anything else. He had a smart meter fitted and he had some kind of crazy bill, like £38,000. It was obviously incorrect. But it took him months and a ton of stress to get it sorted. And I just thought, oh, it would be my luck for that, I can't be handling that kind of stress, but also the time wasting of trying to get something fixed. It's this sense that if it's a gadget, a computer, a machine, that the company will say, well, it must be right because that's what computer says correct. And I think, we're all probably really well aware, certainly in the UK now, of the awful situation for the sub-postmasters in the UK, because the computer system went wrong and some of them ended up in prison, for goodness sakes. I mean, it's just anyway. So I was very reluctant, but this nagging went on and on. I thought, do you know what, fine, because I'm moving anyway, pop one in. So, and it was one of those things where, they may be here for 3 or 4 hours, you need to be at home, your power's going to be off, okay, think ahead, when can I do it, what can I be doing that's productive when the power is off? So it's been and done. Actually, when he came, the engineer, I did say, is my
is my meter really at the end of its life? You know, I don't know how you tell. He said, no. I said, oh, they've been telling me I need to swap it because it's at the end of its life. And he said, no, it's not. And he actually said, do you not want me to do this today? Because I said to him, I'm not that keen on, you know, smart meters. And I asked him, I said, well, if you go away having not done it, will you get into trouble with your boss? And he said, no. He said, I'll just tell them that the customer refused. And I said, no, because then I might get into trouble. So anyway, I said, look, just, you're here, get it done, that's fine. But also, I think, again, in terms of moving, as I was mentioning the other day, I think my flat is more likely to be bought by a young person. In my head, I think young people are more into gadgets and technology, and they probably appreciate the fact that it's already done. So, who knows? Maybe that will actually be a good thing for when I come to move. Anyway, it's done. And that's, yeah, it's just another tick, and it gets the people off my back. We'll see how it goes. I'll wait with bated breath for the first bill. Now, just the other thing to say before I get stuck in today, we collectively, I think we've got 3 or 4 different building companies coming in today to quote for some work. It never ends, it never blimmin' ends. Old building syndrome. The flat roof out at the back, it's the one, it's just outside my kitchen and bathroom window. It's the little flat roof that I crawl out on to clean my windows from outside. That roof, it looks like it's on its last legs. Plus the entire back elevation of the building needs repointing, re-rendering. The parapet wall out there needs new coping stones. It doesn't have any coping stones on it at the moment. All of that work needs doing, so we're biting the bullet and we're getting people in. So I'm mentioning there may be a little bit of noise, there may be my front door getting buzzed. We may get interrupted today. We'll see how it goes. But that's another, God, it's a big job. It's a huge job. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, why is it anything to do with you? That's not your roof, and all of the work is going to be below the level of my property. So I'm up here, and all that work is going to be going on here. We do everything collectively. We have a collective responsibility, so the flat owners and the shop owner. And that's quite right, because otherwise, you know, if you think about it, the roof is a huge expense, was a huge expense. It was done a few years ago. I think it's about 8 years ago now, new roof. If that was left entirely to me, just because I happen to be the flat that's up underneath the roof, that simply wouldn't be fair. And for example, if I hadn't done it, if I left the roof and my flat became derelict, then before too long, the next flat down, they would have a problem. And if they didn't do anything about it, they'd become derelict. So the roof, yes, I live closest to it, but everybody in this building needs the roof. The same with the brickwork. We all need that brickwork to be in good order. So it's a collective job. My neighbour downstairs, she's going to be seeing some of them today. I might see a couple. We'll see how it goes. But again, it's just another... It's like, that's why people keep saying to me, you know, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? And like, even like with things like creative sewing ideas, oh, you could make aprons for your shop. Yeah, I could, if I ever had time. There's never time because there's always something else. Anyway, I'm coming to the end of the list. So that's happening today. Hopefully it won't interrupt us too much. Just looking at this. I think we're ready to start. So let's start in the bathroom. I've got a little repair to do in the bathroom and show you the finished bathroom window. Let's brace ourselves. It's going to be a long day today, as always. Yay! Nothing to see because you can't see nothing. That's the window finished. My little plastering job is here. It's just a bit of filling. I'm just going to use some ready-made filler I've got in the pot there, but also I have this in my hand today. This is a spool from one of the old Lancashire cotton mills. My sister gave me this, and it was as a if I hang it up like that, as a string holder. I had it in my shed for ages, but as a string holder in the garden, it didn't really work for me because I am forever moving around the garden and I've got nothing to hang it on. And I thought eventually it would make a nice, sorry, you see how I've got my light pull there? I was thinking I'd have to shorten it, but I was thinking, wouldn't that be a fun light pull for the bathroom? But not for here. I'm not going to change it over whilst I'm still in this flat because, well, I just have to change it when I move because I'm not leaving this behind. But yeah, I quite like that idea. You know, it was cute as a string holder, but not practical. I like having things like this, which are, it's the wrong thing for the job, as it were, but it's just finding a new practical use. Yay! So yeah, let me put that away for now because this can be packed to come to a new home. Let's get on with filling that hole. Well, we're going to have our usual impossible kind of situation for filming. So yeah, I'm just using ready-made filler, ready mixed, and a slightly flexible spatula. It's clean, it's dry. I've made sure I've wiped or sort of dusted out of it any loose plaster. Just make sure it's good and filled. Now, I'm just going to give my spatula, sorry, you can't see a thing, can you? I've just got a jug of water. I'm just cleaning off the excess. Now it's a damp spatula. I'm just going to run that over the whole thing. And it just helps to give a smooth finish. Hold on a sec. I think it needs a little tiny bit more. I just want a really smooth finish to save me having to do any excess, Vivi, any excess sanding. Get that obvious excess off. Yeah, good. Good. Let that dry. Oh, you can't see anything, can you? I'm going to let it dry. It really shouldn't, there you all are. It really shouldn't need too much of a sanding. I mean, just the finest that'll go over. But that's it for in here for now. Let's get back to the kitchen because a lot of the jobs are in the kitchen today. Now for some houseplant cares. To start with, and I've left one of the plants is in the living room. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got my 4 pelargoniums here. That's the 3 that live in the bathroom, and then this one that lives in the front window, plus just the sorry, my apron's wonky, plus the spider plant that lives in the hallway now. They all need a top up of compost. The spider plant, it's a really old plant, it's been in that pot for ages, a little top dressing. These, because I didn't quite not quite enough compost when I was potting them on, the compost is way low. Some of you may remember earlier in the year I had an issue with fungus gnats. Just the thought that makes me feel itchy. So I did the hydrogen peroxide treatment. It worked quite well, but a couple of weeks later there was still the odd one popping up every now and again. So I did a second treatment and that's dealt with it completely. In the meantime, a friend of mine who is a gardener said, we always use diatomaceous earth whenever we pot anything up, always diatomaceous earth.
you never have an issue. So I got myself just a little bag of it. I can't remember how much it was now. Diatomaceous earth. Essentially, it's ground up bits of rock fossils. I'm not quite sure how it works, but it works and it's safe to use. So I've got some compost. I brought some back from the garden. Remember, I had that sort of half bag left in the shed. That's been brought home. Oh, do you know what? As soon as I mention things like little gnats, it makes me feel so itchy. So a bit of compost there. I'm just going to add a couple of dessert spoons. Do I even need that much? Maybe 1.5. Just mix that in with all my compost, and then I can start making pudding. I've got an old pudding bowl. Yeah, then I can give them all a top up. But also today, one of the jobs, it might not happen today, one of the things at the moment is I'm making, hang on a sec, I really need a good scratch. Oh dear. One of the things at the moment is I am creating lots of dust. So, you know, obviously I do a job and I clean up after myself. Do you want to see you can't see what I'm doing, can you? I can talk and do this at the same time. You're coming down. You're going down. Let's see if I can bring you down a bit. There we go. Yeah, all the jobs, all the work I'm doing at the moment is sort of, I just keep creating a lot of dust. And obviously at the end of a session, whatever I'm doing, I clean up after myself. But it's just, yeah, I just keep moving things, creating more dust. So the reason I'm mentioning dust is because I think all of the plants could do with a good dusting their leaves. But what I think I will do is not do that today. That's why I was humming and hawing out loud, because if I'm doing sort of houseplant cares today, it would make sense. But I know, because I know what's coming tomorrow, as in what jobs are coming up, that I'm going to be creating even more dust. So I think the way forward is to just keep ploughing on at these jobs, do sort of, clean up after myself each day, but then in another couple of weeks or so, I can have a real sort of mega clean, a really thorough dusting of the entire flat, including the leaves of all my plants. Give that a good firming in. They should enjoy this little bit of extra. This one needs quite a lot extra. Yeah, I'm sure you've all experienced this too, when you just seem every day to create more and more mess and think, when is it going to end? When am I ever going to get straight again? I certainly feel that here. I've been feeling it here for, well, all of this year so far. Right, I'll go and get the spider in a minute, but one of the things I am going to do today, I'm just going to bring you back up here because, sorry, I like to see you as I talk to you. Yeah, that's enough for the spider plant. That's kind of almost spot on with how much compost I've had out. So, good. The other thing I will do, everything had, excuse me one moment. One of the other things, well, I'm going to do it right now, although you don't need to see it, is they all had quite a good thorough watering a couple of days ago, all the houseplants. But it's time to start feeding them, and it's something I always forget. I always forget this, but I made that promise to myself when Heather sent me the St George's sword and the autumn cactus. I thought, right, I am going to be better at looking after houseplants this year. And just as I would if I was in the kitchen garden, all my nitrogen hungry plants, my beans especially, I regularly fertilise. you all know what with. I'm not going to use that indoors at home. I have got some baby bio, it's been in the cupboard. So yeah, I'm just going to give all the plants, you know, as it says, use when the plants are actively growing, and they are. I can see that, for instance, the hallway spider, because I've just brought it in, it's sending up lots of lovely vibrant new green leaves. All the pelargoniums, they've been sending up flower spikes. Oh, I love these white ones. They've been sending up spike after spike after spike of flower. So yeah, I want to keep them as healthy as I can for my own enjoyment. But of course, back to what I was saying right at the beginning of the video, it's that mindset as well of the houseplants. They're part of the staging for this flat when I come to sell. So yeah, have them looking vibrant and healthy and gorgeous. Because imagine estate agents. Well, this is something I would pick up on. If I was looking at pictures at an estate agent's and all the plants were dying and dead, I'd think, don't really want to look at that house. What else is dying and dead? Right, so I can get on with that off camera. Yeah, and then, like I said, the dusting of all the plant leaves. And they do need dusting, just to say, you know, they're breathing through their leaves. So it does need doing, but I'm going to hold off doing it for a couple of weeks, just while I continue to be creating dust clouds every day. And when I do come to do that really thorough clean in a couple of weeks, it's going to be with damp cloths to dust with. Because if I use a dry cloth, I'm just going to spread it, send it elsewhere, send it somewhere else to settle down. No thank you. Damp cloths, get it up and off. Really good. Oh God, there's a big job coming next and I need 2 people and there's only 1. I'll deal with that in a minute. Let's get these plants fed first. All done. Be happy, little flowers. I'm actually getting a bit warm. Are we finally warming up? I should hope so. It's the summer, supposedly. I've got the window flung wide. Oh, we might hear some building work. Never mind. Right. On a day like today, when I'm planning my list, I write down approximately how long I think the job is going to take. So it's a half-hour job, and I might think, well, I want to capture 5 minutes of that for video. So I'll mention to myself, note to self, 5 minutes of footage for video. It's a 30-minute job. But then, and this is a really important one, I also put a little bit of time at the end for clean-up. So, you know, cleaning up the kitchen after plants. Obviously, I did it on newspaper for the worst of it. But yeah, a little bit of time for clean-up. So that's done. I'm putting off the next job slightly. So yeah, when you're trying to schedule out a day like this for yourself, you're gonna have to have lots of what. It feels really muggy today. It's humid. I can feel my skin. There's stickiness, so it's important for me to top up. Using a bottle rather than a cup or glass today, because again, I'm creating lots of dust. So yeah, when you're doing your to-do list, 30 minutes for the job. Is it a 10-minute cleanup? Is it a half-hour cleanup? You know, if you've got paint brushes or something, you'll be washing out your brushes. Give yourself that time. Right, just before I tackle the next job, rehanging the washing machine door, and it really ought to be a 2-person job because the door is solid wood. It's a big plank of solid wood. It's heavy. What I think I'm going to have to do is find some books, make some piles of books on the floor so that at least the weight of the door is held while I put the hinges back on. I want to get the washing machine done because I've got some laundry to do, and I'm at laundry. Actually, you can just see over my shoulder just there, that little purple cap. That's got the last dregs of washing liquid in. It's not really enough for a wash. It would do for a hand wash if I was washing some woolens or whatever. But yeah, I need to go and refill this today. I'm hoping I'm hoping they might let me snoop in the shop with my camera today, because I've spoken about it so many times. I'd love for you to see it. And one of the things is, let me just go through. These are my credit notes. So these are the last of my credit notes from last year. That one's not even dated. But yeah, well, I know what this one's all about. Must have been September. All my freezers were full. I had no more space to store any vegetables. So can you see what it says? Tomatoes, brackets, gardener's delight. And for those, I got £3.35. They give me £1.50 a kilo, so that would have been 2 and a bit kilos. Oh goodness! Oh dear. Before anyone asks, no, it's not allergies, it's not hay fever. I do not have hay fever. I have been allergy tested. It's just dust. Dust and work. Yeah, so I'm down to my last few, and at the moment I'm feeling really weirded out about things because my freezer is so normally, or in the past, I've had 3 freezers in the kitchen, and by this time of year I'm down to 2 of them are turned off, defrosted, cleaned, ready for this season's produce to start coming in. So usually by about the end of July, going into August, bushels of tomatoes, courgettes, So I'm down to 1 freezer. That's normal for this time of year. What's not normal is, like a moment of weepiness, is knowing that I'm not going to be refilling this freezer with my own produce. I mean, if I see produce at the market that's a really good price because it's a glut, I'll buy some and possibly freeze. But in any case, I need to run the freezer down. I don't want to get to moving day. So say when I move, there's no freezer at my new home because this is built in, I'm leaving it. If there's no freezer, I don't want to leave a freezer full of food for the new person unless they pay me. So I am going to start using it up and emptying the freezer. But what I'm not going to do is run a freezer half empty. As I'm emptying it, I've actually got 2 in there at the moment. As I'm emptying it, I've got my Tupperwares. I'm just filling them with water and putting them in there because the freezer will work more efficiently if it's full. So yeah, it's weird knowing I'm not going to refill it with my own produce. It's really sad. I'm getting down to how much credit have I got left? 3.35, 6, so £7.28, 70, 9, 10, 70. I've got about enough credit for either 2 laundries or 4 or 5 dishwashing up liquids, and then I'm going to have to start buying again. It's so weird. Right, so thinking about the washing machine, that is reminding me of that. I seem to be doing more chat and not getting on and really putting this door off. The other thing I wanted to mention today about my gorgeous pinny. Folk, there seems to be at least one person every time I've got my pinny on get me a opinion on, get my pinny on in a video, someone mentions it, says, oh, I love your pinny. Now, it is by Cook Smart. Oh, can't get you up that high. Cook Smart. This pattern isn't available anymore. Sorry. Yeah, it's not available anymore. There's a lovely story behind, let me undo it so I can show it to you properly. There's a lovely story behind it as well because, as you can see, it's all our lovely garden birds, tits and robins and thrushes. And, sorry, the reason I have it and I love it, there's the robin right in the middle. It sits almost over my heart when I'm wearing it. It was part of my leaving gifts from work because the ward I worked on was called Robin Ward, and so I had a lovely bundle of presents as leaving gifts. So kind, so generous of everyone. A number of the bits and bobs were Robin themed, so I can never ever forget my sisters on and 2 brothers on Robin Ward. Right, stop delaying, stop procrastinating. Let's see if I can get this fridge door on my. It's a weekday. I'm weak. No, it's a weekday, as in it's a working day. So no one's around to give me a hand. Everyone's at work. I'll see if I can do it on my own. If I think there's a chance I'm more likely to damage it than get it back on, I'll wait and see if I can rope in a friend to help me. Right, let's get on. God, just to say as well, before we do, I don't know if you can't quite see underneath, can you? Because the door was off, when I was sitting, this all goes back to that hideous, horrible, nasty man who came to fit it. When I was sitting on my sofa, at the end of my sofa where I'm sitting now with a book reading, I can see through the kitchen and I could see through to this. And every time I looked, I was thinking, it looks like the washing machine's like that. So the countertop's here and the washing machine's kind of like going down on a slope. I thought, am I imagining it? Anyway, I got out, I've got a really skinny little spirit level. So I put it on the top of the machine. It was so off. The bubble was, instead of being, in the middle, it was at one end of the spirit level. It's ridiculous. So what I've done in the meantime is I've had the kickboard off, using a jemmy and a block. A jemmy and a block. So I had the block on the floor, put the jemmy in under the bath, and I jacked the bath. I had to jack up the washing machine. So I've got one hand pushing down on my jemmy to jack the machine up, and the other hand underneath twiddling the foot to bring it up to level. So at least it's level now. God help me, but I think that might have made the hinges go even more wonky. We'll see. Just get on with it, Vivi. Yeah, I know. Is it raining? I'm properly delaying this moment, aren't I? It's like anything in life, isn't it? Those things what one dreads, it's actually, you know what, just stop thinking about it and just do it, because the chances are it's way less terrible and horrible than you think. I'm going in. Yeah, this is going to be tricky. I've got a pile of books I hope they're going to take the weight. Just took one off. Oh no, it's too low now. Just trying to find the right books to give me the right height, because there's no way I can, there's no way I can hold the weight of the door, get it lined up and screw at the same time. I think what I'll do is, is it quite right now? They don't screw. What I mean is, you can put the screws in part way without needing to screw. What I'm trying to say is, with the screws, there's a smooth section. I think there's nothing for it now, but Gordon Bennett, she's down. And now I won't be able to get up again. Just want to get them all lined up first before I screw. Sorry, you can't hear me. I want to get them lined up first before I screw them in tight, because there is some wiggle room. I think I need to be further over this way. God, that bloke, he really didn't do me any favours. And that, my friends, is why I've got that's why I've got the pile of books. So the pile of books is acting like a mate, holding it for me. Is that going in at all? Blimey. It's one of those one of those jobs, I think, I just really want to be able to get this door back on, because it just the kitchen looks tidier. And the thing with small-ish, I was going to say small kitchens, but I've mentioned this before, but actually for a London flat, this is not a small kitchen. Yeah, the thing with the smaller kitchen is do anything to help to make it, it's not about trying to trick someone to think it's bigger than it is, but let's not make it look smaller than it is. That's the thing. So if all my cupboard doors are back on, that smoothness of that, nothing's jarring. We're not looking at 10 different items. We're just looking at one smooth bank. That kind of makes the space feel a bit more open. Likewise, not having upper cabinets is a really good trick in a small space. Upper cabinets in here would really close the space in. So having some open shelving, it just keeps the space bigger, wider, more open. I mean, never mind the fact that that's my personal preference. I hate uppers. Right, let's not get too tight with them. It's these bottom ones which have been worrying me, because it's this, I think this is where it was at its most wonky. Hold on a sec. Oh lordy. It's definitely the day for two people. I need just a little bit more leverage. This might do it. Hold on. Improvising. It's a bit awkward. I'm reaching for my little coaster. Is that in? Oh, that might be just enough, I think. So, is that thread gone? It doesn't feel like it's biting. Oh, there we go. Right. I'm not going all the way in because I want to try and close the door first. Please, 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 everyone cross your fingers right now. Please, 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 please let this work. Please, 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 because I'm really, really fed up of having to fix things and things being a problem. Please work, please work, please work. Oh, it's catching on the top. It's catching there. So that tells me, oh la la, I need to drop this bottom corner back and out. Right, I think this might take me some time. There you are. I think it's going to take me some time, and it's quite possible that there are about to be a lot of naughty words. So I'm going to turn you all off for now. Fight this monster. Maybe I just need to let that side of the washing machine down. Oh, good grief. Come back in a few minutes or a few hours. It'll do. It'll do. I mean, it's on. I mean, I can see that the washing machine as a unit with this door, compared with the other three, is still slightly on the wonk. All the other three line up perfectly. He had the nerve to tell me that the other three were wonky, and that he put, anyway, never mind. I just had quite a genius idea as I was doing that. I have two of these little Stanley multi-headed screwdriver bits. I always used to have one, and then I ended up, it kept going backwards and forwards to the garden, and I thought, oh, for goodness sakes, just buy another one. So I bought a second one to have at the shed. Brilliant. Of course, that's come home. Have I packed it or have I put it in my toolbox? It just occurred to me, something like this job, where the reason I was saying don't tighten the screws and the hinges all the way, because I want that little bit of wiggle room until I get it where it is, and then I can get those screws in firm. So I've been screwing in, loosening, screwing in, loosening all that time. And I always put it on the ratchet, slightly weak wrists after breaking them. And it's really annoying, isn't it? You kind of go and you go, oh, I'm on the wrong setting. Oh, turn the ratchet. Oh, that's right. And then you forget, you got to loosen. Oh, I'm on the wrong setting. Turn. I should have one for tightening and one for loosening so that the ratchet is always in the right position. I'll have a big letter R on this one, right for tight, and on the other one, a big letter L, left for loosey. Right, thank goodness that's done. I'm going to go, I need to pop out, I need to go to the post office as well. So let's see if I can pick up, and we're getting some blue sky now. It's lovely, lovely, fluffy white clouds. Post office, laundry liquid, and hopefully they'll let me show you a little bit inside the shop where I go and get my refill. You know what, it's the littlest thing, but oh my goodness, that looks so much better with the door back on. Fabulous. I am relieved at that. Let's hope it stays on. Okay, let's go and get some washing liquid. Well, this is a bit cool. Am I going to be able to find it? Oh yeah, it's just there. See that? It's a drone. How did we do anything before we had drones? We've got some problems on the back of the building with some of the render. We need new coping stones, problems with this roof. It all has to be fixed, and woo! Here it comes. Shall I wave? Hello. That's my neighbour's voice. You can hear down in the, right down there. There's an alley, right down there. So yeah, I mean, why not use a tool like this to get images? Oh, it's shy. Yeah, if this helps with our builders, for them to decide the best way forward. Come on, little droney, where have you gone? So there's that little window you've seen me crawl out of to get onto the roof to do my windows. They've been, yeah, we've had 3 lots of them so far. Where's it gone? I'm going to pull out again, because where's it gone? Oh, there it is. You see, oh. Are they going to be able to see me now? It's not every day. But whoops, that's pretty cool actually. What a great gadget for builders to have, because it means that they can do a really good assessment without having to put scaffolding up. They are peculiar little things. Oh, where's it gone? They are peculiar little things, aren't they? It's like, quite easy to be anthropomorphic. I'm going to wave. Yes, good. Well, you know, it's like so many things in life, isn't it? You take a step forward and then it feels like 10 steps back. But yeah, this is another job that has to be dealt with. So yeah, getting on with this amongst all the other things I'm trying to do. But isn't it nice looking out now to finally see a bit of green? Well, quite a lot of green, and even a little bit of blue. Yay. Right,
back to getting on with things. Oh, it's a proper The Simpsons sky, isn't it? I can hear them again. I think they're having another run at it. But you know, it's just made me laugh. A thought that I've just had that's made me laugh to myself. Oh yeah, it's just there. You can't see, my window is in the way. Yeah, the thought I just had to myself, which made me giggle, was, imagine if this was a few days ago they came up with the drone, when my bathroom window had no frosting on it, because my bathroom window is just there next door, no frosting on it, and I'm sitting on the loo, and the drone comes up, they get an image of me sitting on the loo. Oh, funny. Oh, it's close. Oh, sorry. Gosh, sorry, I lost control there. Yeah, what a great gadget for builders and folk to have these days. Good stuff. Right, it's coming round again. I'm going to wave at it again. Oh, right. Enough of that nonsense. I need to get on. Bye bye, little droney. See you later, fluffy sky. Isn't that pretty though? Yay! Oh, one of my favourite little shops. So I've just asked Shay if she minds me getting some shots, and she said no, not at all. So you can see. Oh, I mean, is there anything in here that you wouldn't want to scoff? Look, gorgeous teas, and not my section up here with the chutneys, but it's nice for, you know, like a Christmas hamper, that sort of thing. Maybe you wouldn't eat it every day, but look, I mean, even things like the packaging, it's beautiful. It's all really, oh my goodness, look at that. That's fab. It's really beautiful. Yeah, but oh my goodness, this has got to be the best bit of the whole shop, apart from the scarf. The cheeses. So it was these lovely people who got the Dorset blue in for me. Oh, look at that one. I mean, look, this is treat stuff, isn't it? But yeah, you know, if it's something special like Christmas or your birthday. And then the lovely, you know, some fresh veggies. It's only a little teeny tiny shop, but yeah, it's pretty much everything I want in here. Falafel, chocolate, look at all the breads. The breads are beautiful. And the cakes are lovely. And the staff are lovely. Morning, gorgeous. This is our Shay. She's going to do me a refill, aren't you, lovely? Thank you. And so we've got all our different refills over here. I'm having laundry liquid. £5 a litre. I don't even know how much these things cost in the shops, like normal shops, because I never buy them, because I always come here, don't I? And then there's all sorts of lovely, there's a few choice bits of, oh God, alcohol. Stop it, Vivi. But also you can get your bits and bobs like, you know, yeah, coffee filters, food waste bags, washing up pads, all of that stuff that's plastic free, but also a few bits and bobs for our animal friends. And this one down here, this is great. It almost makes me want to get a dog. You see the light. It's called Shay and Sage. Is it Chai and Sage? I can never work out, because I always get mixed up between you. She's Shay and this is Chai. These are botters that you can put, you know, like in your Kong toys, and it just makes them engage with the Kong toy for longer. Oh, I wonder where this stuff comes from. I wonder who makes it. You are an absolute star, sweetheart.
You
because
described it perfectly, by the way.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Because this was a bit of a change in career for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We won't go into all the details. We've had many chats about this. But I take my hat off to you, darling. You properly inspire me with, you know, one thing didn't work out, so what do? You do something else. You're such a good one. Right, what bottle of champagne shall I have? Only joking. Oh my goodness, they all look lovely. Are they? Oh yeah, gorgeous. Right, so now it's a case of I can't remember how big that bottle is. Is that a litre bottle?
So yeah.
So I owe you a £5, but I can't do both things at once. So I'm going to put all of you lovely, oh look, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I'm going to put all of you lovelies away whilst I fill around now for my credit notes. Oh, you see, look, this is the sign I saw a couple of years ago. Calling local allotmenteers. Yay! Right, I'll see you lot back at home, and I'm going to get my credity bits out to pay. Beautiful shop, beautiful staff.
Ooh, I'm glad with how today is going. It's coming up for 2 o'clock now. So yeah, that was great. Sorry, I was about to leave and then I heard the drone. I thought, let's have a little look. I've subsequently been to get my washing liquid, popped into the post office, a couple of little bits and bobs home. It's time for lunch. I'm going to have, I got some out of the freezer last night, some, what am I having, carrot and lentil. So I think that's more than enough for one video, isn't it? But what a great morning. There've been a few other little bits and bobs which you haven't seen. They're far too dull to share, but yeah, a good morning. Happy with that. I've got plenty to get on with this afternoon too, and more tomorrow, and so it goes. So I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'm just so pleased as well to finally give you a little nosy round one of my favourite little shops where I go for all my refills and for some lovely company. She's fab. I love her to bits. She's really great lass. So anyway, now I'm about to waffle. I need to go. I will see you all again really soon, I hope. But in the meantime, it's closed today. Yeah, just look after yourselves and find moments in which to be happy every day if you can. Until the next one, cheerio.